Welcome to Workshop Wednesday, where we're going to talk about what's new for July 2023. Welcome. My name is Julie Brody, the Director of Measurement for MeasurementMarketing.io. Been teaching measurement marketing since 2017, lead account manager for all of our dedicated measurement management clients, and been building out dashboards since 2007. And my current the actual platform of choice right now is Looker Studio. Been enjoying that one for quite some time now. And you probably recognize me from the Measurement Marketing Academy as one of your instructors back there. So if you are back there as a Measurement Marketing Academy member, reach out to us and tell us hi. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions, we have an amazing team of support back there to help and guide you. So as you go through this particular workshop, remember the one thing. Don't try to grab everything we throw at you. There's going to be lots of different things happening, and then just take it, make it your own, and then come back and get something else. So let's go ahead and get started with what's new for July 2023. Let's start first with our measurement marketing framework. And I'm going to preface by there has been a new update to the measurement marketing framework course. So if you haven't watched that, please go through it. It is amazing. We got incredible feedback. So put that on your to-do list if you haven't watched it for the new update that happened at the very end of June 2023. So we have our plan, build, and launch, and then you're going to have to go from marketing in the blind to where you want to go, which is reliably growing those revenue and profits. And to do that, you go through your plan, which you have to know your questions, the information, and your actions, and then you get your results, your traffic, and your story. You're building those. Then when you launch, you're listening, you're forecasting, and you're optimizing and going through with those. And that is, again, your measurement marketing framework. So what's new in July of 2023? So what's Google Analytics for? Well, I don't think there's anything new. Just kidding. There's absolutely lots of things happening with Google Analytics 4. So I want to actually go ahead and pull over our Google Analytics 4 teaching property just to kind of show you what are some of the things that are going on. So we mentioned before that if you haven't already turned them on, you want to make sure you go through and have your business objectives on. We showed that previously in the last two different What's New workshops. So go back through those and just make sure this little guy is published, and then you should be good to go. You should start seeing these over here. The next update is you go to your admin section and you have audiences. If you haven't already started taking advantage of audiences, please get in there and start doing that, because this is going to be the magical thing, especially if you're using Google Ads. So you always start here and create a new audience. However, I'm going to give you a pro tip here, and that is actually to come over into Explore and then create a new exploration, or technically you probably want to do one of these guys, a little funnel, and that way you can create an audience from those segments inside there. So we'll have some other workshops later on in the month that walk you through this step by step, but just know that this audience feature is constantly updating, and they've added more metrics and dimensions in there. And so that's just something you want to keep an eye out for, especially if you're doing Google Ads. So those were several things that happen inside of this past month for that. The next thing that's happened is if you don't already have your Search Console linked, which we do not because this is a teaching account, is that it's going to start kind of recommending you link it. Again, ours is a teaching account, so it's probably not going to do that here, but you might start seeing it recommend that you do that or something. So if you don't already have your Search Console linked or your Google Ads linked, make sure you get those linked up. Highly encourage you to do those. And also, if you are using AdSense, you are now able to link between the GA4 and AdSense accounts. So a GA4 property and an AdSense account. So if you have one of those, that is a good update for you. You probably already knew that one, but in case you didn't, that's an update for you. All right, another one that is a hot topic in our masterminds is this conversions. And I just want to show you something, another place where you can see this information. And if we look under conversion paths, and you could see these different options. Obviously, this is a teaching site, so we don't have much going on here. And then we can have our different comparisons. And so comparisons is really nice to see. And you can even come down here and you can see Google paid channels last click, and then you can see all the data driven and everything else is just basically comparing the two. I want to come into your admin section and then um, come down into your reporting identity. Excuse me, I went too fast on that one to attribution settings. Hello, there we are. And so this is what it is looking at too, this last click. So this is what we were just looking at under advertising, and the comparison was kind of showing like, well, if you had your settings set up this way, this is what it would look like. And this is what it is actually set at. So make sure that you understand what that means here. And then if we were to change this, let's just say that, and just because we're testing this out, you sometimes will see other options here where you can have that linked up. Like we don't have Google Ads linked in here, but you might be able to see other options for that there. But basically, you have to be careful and you want to make sure that if Google Pay channels were only right down here, Google Pay channels where only Google Ads gets the credit. And then there's also paid and organic. Like if we had it linked, we would see an option for paid and organic. And that means paid and organic channels are eligible to receive conversion credit, but only credit assigned to Google Ads will appear in your Google Ads account. So you just have to be very careful. So that's how sometimes the numbers in Google Analytics may not add up to the numbers you see in Google Ads. So it all depends on your attribution settings. I've been on multiple calls with Google Ads, so with some members and some clients, trying to understand the different attribution options. And so we just want to make sure, and you can always go through and learn more and kind of figure out which one might be best for you. They do an excellent job explaining it in here, so I highly encourage you to go through and figure out what would be best for you, for your client, and explain that and kind of see which one would be best. So that is the big update there. And then amazing update also with audiences is you can now pull your audiences into APIs, meaning like BigQuery. Because before, audiences just lived inside of the Google Analytics 4 platform. Meaning, if you wanted to use an audience somewhere else, you were very limited on what you could do. You basically had pulled directly into here. You couldn't use them in BigQuery. You couldn't use them in Analytics Canvas. You couldn't use them in Supermetrics. You couldn't do anything like that. Now you can. So that's another amazing thing that we're going to be able to do with those audiences. So if you haven't started building them, make sure you do. And then one of the final updates that we have for Google Analytics 4 is that if you have your Google Analytics 4 account linked to Google Ads, it says that I'm going to read this carefully. It says you can now import conversions into your Google Ads from GA4. However, it's still recommended that you use Tag Manager to send your conversions into Google Ads. So that's just a little side note on that one. So those are your Google Analytics 4 updates. Coming up next is Tag Manager. And so the main things that we're seeing inside of Tag Manager, it's actually going to be kind of quick. Still like little its and bits of server side updating, making things getting ready for GA4 and kind of doing that. So there's not really anything that we're going to talk about in this particular workshop, but we'll let you know if there's anything that pertains to all of you. But it's mainly just making things easier, like, hey, now you have regex here. So that's good. And now for Looker Studio. So excited to show this one to you because we have, I'm going to actually show this an ugly old report for you. And so I actually had to go dig and find this one. It was something that I was just demonstrating at, probably using for Ask an Instructor or something. And anyways, so I'm going to click on this Edit Data Source. And then I'm going to click on something first. And so one thing you notice, we can have these descriptions in here. That's kind of useful, sort of kind of user scope to custom dimension of your analytics property. These are only the things that we've created. I'm going to refresh the fields. Look at this. Look at this. So excited to have all this. These are all the new fields that we have available. Metrics and dimensions, and one of our favorite ones that we've been waiting for like forever is landing page. And we have page location. We have page, I mean, like so many amazing things that we have now. So this is going to make building reports in Looker Studio so much easier. And also, rumor has it, the quota issue has not very been much of an issue lately. We were able to even maintain it during most of a launch with a client. Like we had issues toward the very, very end, but for most of the launch, we were fine, which was fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and apply and watch this. Boom, we have all these freaking definitions, which is amazing. So if you aren't quite sure what one thing is versus another, and like what is date plus hour or hour and minute, and so it's like really, really easy. And by the way, I'm using this sometimes when I'm like, well, what is this? Instead of trying to Google it, I know Looker Studio has the exact definition of what they're looking for, so it kind of gives me a good heads up. All right, the other updates that are kind of happening with Looker Studio is some bar chart options that they have. So one of the things that you'll see with your bar chart now is you now have the option to toggle on for optional metrics. You've had a while for, depending on what chart you're using, you've had an option for different dimensions and drill downs and stuff, but now we have optional metrics, and so we have looking at sessions, and then if I hover, while technically I'm in edit mode, but I'm hovering still and I can say switch it to conversions. And so we're able to now see the conversions by these traffic sources or see both of them there. And we can even work inside the 100% stacked as well. We're going to give it a second to figure itself out. Say optional, we can add our metric conversions. And here we go. And just going to let it do the thing. And again, we're going to switch it because it's 100%. It's not going to show us both. And we could say, hey, this is the one that happened on that particular one. So we have that there. And then you do have some more options for showing the bar width as making it thicker or thinner, depending on what it is that you're looking for there as well. And a couple of other options, depending on what kind of chart you're choosing with the bars. So nice that they're making that easier. And also, real quick note that they added an update for basically saying you can audit logging for team workspaces. This basically means someone has to have access to your Google console, the cloud. And so don't worry too much about that. However, it is kind of cool. They can see if clients are going into your site, but you do have to have the admin access for that. So we'll let you know if that has become something that you want to do. Right now, it just seems like it's just kind of digging into a massive database and not as useful right now, but we'll let you know if that becomes useful since it's brand new, only a few days old. So now what's new for other platforms? If you haven't already started using Clarity, we highly, highly, highly encourage you to do so. It's free. And for right now, I keep saying it's forever free. And so we've had this set up for a while. I'm going to go to the recordings, and I've started a couple of recordings that I wanted to show you because this is kind of cool. So this person right here was on the page for 35 or 32 minutes, and they clicked 13 times. So I'm going to just generate this. I don't even have to watch it, and I'm asking chat GPT or an AI, basically, what is the user doing? And it's saying the user visited the website, blah, 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 all these other different things. The user watched the workshop video for about 18 minutes with several interruptions and page visibility and changes. Well, it could have just been them bouncing back and forth. So I'm not sure exactly what the interruptions are. I could go watch the recording and figure that out. The resize of the browser, that just means it's responsive. That's just kind of a weird chat GPT thing or a chat AI thing that is not capturing that. So eventually they'll probably weed that part out. So this one right here we haven't done. So we're going to show you exactly what it looks like when we're doing this. And so it goes through what the user is doing. So if you can go through and grab a bunch of these, and we've actually done this, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste for like 50 of them, then you throw it into another AI, the chat GPT that I'm thinking of, and then kind of like, hey, summarize this, or what are the key points, or what, kind of ask those different questions. What are the users doing? What I did was say, hey, can you summarize this? And it kind of gave us a trend of what the users were doing, so which was really nice. So if you're not using Clarity, definitely go ahead and start using that as well. So that is your updates for all those platforms. Now for the Measurement Marketing Academy, as mentioned before, if you didn't already know, the Measurement Marketing Framework course, when the Measurement Marketing Framework was updated this past week. And so if you haven't already, make sure you watch that one. We've gotten great feedback from it, so I can't wait to hear what you think of it. And then coming up inside of the Measurement Marketing Academy, we are going to be updating Win Looker Studio Basics at the first week of August. So we hope to see you there live with us. What was your one thing? Was it the fact that Looker Studio has all kind of new options, or GA4 has all those new audience options as well? Let us know and make sure you hit the subscribe button too. And again, that Measurement Marketing Framework course is brand new. If you want to have access to it, it is also free for those Toolbox members. How do you get access to the Toolbox and all of these other free cool tools? Just go join the Measurement Marketing Academy as a free Toolbox member, or if you want the paid membership where you talk to us as the instructors and get all access to all the other courses, just go to measure.tips/getacademy and choose the best option for you. So we'll talk to you soon. And that's what's new for July 2023. We'll see you next time. Take care.